Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Reactions video, and today we are going to be talking about, this time, unlike last time, I actually made a letter. If you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I actually made a letter way back in the day when the Albed Riku was on the JP version, and I was so disappointed I didn't even review her. I made a letter to Alan. They acknowledged that they got it, and later on, of course, she got her crowns, and then she was very good, right? So I'm not gonna, stroke my ego and say, oh, it's all me that made that happen, but I think it was at least a part in it that, due to my influence, a little bit of influence, and they responded. I think that they did make her crowns usable. So of course, her crowns are very good. So today or yesterday, I believe, right? I sent a letter to Ellen once again, and a more expanding letter than I made last time, where it was kind of small, and I was just, displeased with, oh, it's just Riku. This time I'm displeased because a lot of the units that are coming out in the game are becoming really bland and uninspired, and I'm getting kind of sick of seeing them, especially locking things behind EX2 that don't need to be locked, like 150% amp, when a lot of units have it by default. So today we're going to be going into my letter. So let's get into it. So I made the Japanese version of it in the small corner there, just so you guys have some proof that I did send it. It was sent to their email address there. But in English, I wrote as follows: Dear FFBE team, hello. I am Deus Gaming, a YouTube channel that covers FFBE, especially the Japanese version of the game. At one time in the past, and this is important to bring up in terms of a context, I had brought to your team attention that I thought Neovision Riku's performance and use was very undesirable, and you and your team corrected that mistake by giving her Master Crowns and the value needed to make her good. When you're making letters, by the way, you can't just be overly negative. You have to actually be on a common ground to make them want to actually read it. So I can't just go and say, these units suck! I want you to make it better! You think they're going to read it? I mean, just think of yourself in a customer support or a dev team position. They're probably not going to read it. Or they will, but they won't really, retain the knowledge of the letter. So I'm trying to be as, calm and collected as I possibly can. So the letter continues. I come to you yet again because lately you and your team have been producing questionable choices in regards to your new gacha character abilities. They have been getting worse over time, and the Snowvinka was the last straw for me, so I had to contact your team yet again to try and have you reconsider your current path set for the game and its players. People are not going to want to spend or pull on these characters if they're continuing to be subpar, no matter how much attention you give them to their CG, no matter how much money you spend on their CG to make it look as nicely as possible, is what I'm trying to say, or their character art, or character sprite, The unit's ability and power must be good and acceptable for people to use for their hard-earned money or lapis, or tickets. I didn't really want to mention tickets because, whatever. When you say lapis, you mean just pulls, right, basically. Please consider in the future, yet again, to start producing abilities for characters that are worth it. Abilities that can be exciting for the player again. Not every character you make has to be the best. That's better than that's better than the previous one, of course, that make power creep on top of power creep. But it should be compelling to use. Thank you for reading, and I hope that you consider what I proposed. I hope FFBE will continue to grow as the game going forward. So that's my letter, guys. It's not a gigantic, 2-page paragraph or anything like that, but it's a pretty compelling letter we've got here. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the letter. But hopefully they will respond. They haven't yet, but it's the weekend, so they might not be responding just yet. So make sure to stay tuned for my community tab if they do any responses, if they acknowledge it. Even if they just say that we acknowledge that we received this letter, I will go ahead and post that in the community tab. Or if it's something more significant, I may make another video. But yeah, I think it's getting to the point where I had to step in and say, at least do something in my part, guys. Because I am a content creator. But I'm a content creator that's not just gonna go with the flow like a lot of other content creators will do. Not just in FFBE, just on any platform. even if it looks to be kind of bad, and people won't say anything just because they want to continue just making positive content. But I'm someone who's not going to stand by and just let it go to the wayside. I need to say something eventually, even if this nothing happens of this in the short term. Maybe in the long term they'll start reconsidering making units on Snowflake's level, and at least making them worthwhile. So we'll have to see, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.